the game go fast because you can kill heroes very fast, but it can backfire. But Fnatic probably very confident and the favorite paper.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have picked this Timbersaw against like
No. Also because Trion has not played it at all yet in the upper division, so I think this is a good opportunity for him to get practice on heroes that he needs to get familiar with.
And leaves what for move?
Bat Rider's banned out. He
Death
played Death Prophet, yes.
Dragon Knight.
Goes. Something against. I mean, you don't necessarily need to kill Tiny, but something. What about some percentage-based damage? These old heroes
Phoenix?
are
Mid Phoenix,
something
let's
mid.
go.
Hell yeah. I'm kind of, I don't know why I have a feeling there's going to be mid underworld.
Then send Timber mid, wouldn't you?
Possible. But you probably just want to have it against the Wraith King because you don't care about the skellies.
No. Fnatic ban out a Wind Run.
Yeah, everybody knows. Gyrocopter's propeller is not ready for Wind Ranger.
Is that really? Because the shackle, you know, gets all caught up.
Exactly.
But like we saw the headphone cable. Sometimes it's they didn't see it. That was us. Headphone cable gets caught up in your computer chair, and you're all
or it just gets tangled up, and you're gonna do the grab it by the one end and then
watch
roll
it
out.
unravel.
Yeah. Cool. I love that. So ban Ember, okay. Now they need some. They're probably gonna, knowing Fnatic, gonna pick Quaswex Invoker. They're feeling themselves right now.
Get away with it. Good against Wraith King.
Or just pick DK.
What do you think?
I don't think DK's tanky, Firestorm percentage base, I'm fine with it.
But Moon likes it.
I know Moon likes it. I don't mind Invoker. Even though I'm not a let's mana burn Wraith King and just ruin his game. You don't do that anymore. Like, it's doable, but people got better. They're just waiting with the magic wand. Potentially, they are not good at it. Shard, but I feel anything a bit problematic.
Yep.
The AA plus it's a ton of damage. You have this Firestorm maxed out. You have Ancient Apparition, Vortex, Tiny blowing people up, like damage from the Radiance with that Vortex as well.
We played mid Pango one time.
Into Underlord, just
Rough.
it feels really rough. They don't have any other abilities that go. I mean, not a single ability that goes through magic immunity, but
Invoker.
Unexpected. Shock. Again, I don't think they would have picked this hero if they played against another team.
Agreed.
So what is the build on Quasvex?
You go Vessel, 100%.
Okay, and that's still my best guess.
But most people don't do it.
Midas
What about
Witchblade?
Midas Witchblade Boots of Travel?
I love it. I love it.
The most useless build
I
ever
saw
seen
it.
on Invoker?
Dude, I saw what he did, and he did not hit a single hero that game, I
No,
believe.
he did not.
Yeah, it was great. I took down out my notepad. I was like, wow, never do this in my life.
You put it right next to the Crystallis Gyrocopter build. That's right.
Oh yeah.
I mean, at least that kind of makes sense. But Midas bots,
The Witchblade kind of makes sense.
Witchblade?
Invoker has really high end game.
yeah, but you hit people, it's good. What do we want from Lilgun then? I wouldn't
Where's
mind.
this Tiny going? That mid Tiny is more Tiny, and then they mix
Ricky.
It's a mid Ricky.
I think it's mid.
Against Invoker, not bad. You have high base damage, high base armor, high base. You can dodge the EMP. That's gonna win.
But give me some glimmers of hope.
No, I think this Ricky could cause a lot of issues. Good lane against Invoker. These heroes don't gank Ricky. Like,
Four minutes longer than average. Yeah, this isn't breaking some rules here, I guess, but we'll see how the second game goes. We have something extraordinary, a Ricky mid. I know some of the panelists have been advocating the Ricky plus the shard for that sleep dart. Now smoke as well versus the Nyx assassin. Sounds fun. I'm not sure it's good. I actually didn't go, and you didn't go.
Yeah, he gave me the shake. Nice. I appreciate the head nod. Coming right back over to us. We're going to be having game number 2. Over under 25 and a half.
Under?
Okay.
Under?
Yeah.
Like second time in a row, I get a little bit disappointed with the way they place their heroes. Like in the first one, I thought Lina is a perfect match for the mid lane versus DP. The second game, I think Tiny would have done just as much. And then you could pick something different for your position 4, not pick a Ricky mid. But if that's what they're comfortable with, you know, I'm completely fine with that.
Right.
Sometimes picking the comfort zone is much better than and drafting what's perfectly in the meta and what's the best at the moment.
We see a lot of comfort picks come out, and sometimes they don't make sense with the drafts. Like, I'm surprised at how willing teams are to throw comfort picks ahead of what is a counter or what works.
Yeah, the thing is, we don't really have a lot of heroes anymore that just straight up win the game if the game is right for them.
Right.
You usually find some item or some playstyle that can counter. Like, a Medusa right now is probably the strongest one in that aspect, but you can still find ways of dealing with her. Many.
Stun comes out, Hishkin and Trump toss into the air, but jabs, he'll dive. However, first blood's there for Raven. Still want to go in onto the gyro cover. They've got 3 heroes chasing Raven. That
Stun in
is
8,
so Raven.
Blink in 13. This guy's fine. He has a Fairy Fire as well, Sanctity. You need to move back to your lane afterwards. Yep.
Okay.
Easy kill.
He ends up dead. It's kind of corralled into the wrong direction.
Right, they did get the first blood on him, right? So he was just buying enough time for himself to buy the item.
Yeah,
Has
got a
that-
lot of time.
Yeah, he has that raid band. And when you're that low, sometimes it's even better to die, go base, respawn with full HP, and then rejoin the lane. Then TP into the lane with HP, and then you can't farm for the first wave.
Yeah, instead he gets a quick respawn and he ends up going back towards top because that Wraithman like...
How many Ricky Maru mid do you see in your bracket, B?
Not
Not too many, I
Not too
suppose.
many,
Yeah.
honestly. I get a lot of the same Pudge, Phantom Assassin. I feel like I'm always up against.
Pudge and Phantom Assassin. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Forget I asked. It's a rough place that you're in, man. I feel bad for you.
Try to overcome it all by spamming each effort while
And
being a good
flaming
hero
everyone,
and
right?
stuff.
All chatting, flaming.
I should do more to that.
Probably you shouldn't try to do more of that, but top lane so far, Marvel is sustaining himself in a lane such as this one. All you want to do is get that soul ring on Underlord as soon as possible, push out the lane, and stack and farm the hard cap afterwards. Up to that point, this is also very prop. You just pull the wave away from the gyro from the wisp, and you farm under your tower.
Jun just farming here bottom, standing his ground. He's level 2. Gets to what? Level 3, level 4. Nyx Assassin can move off the lane.
Yeah, the moment this Timber hits 3, I think you can move. There's no killing him. He started as a Timber Chain. He's going to have level 2 reactive armor. And from this moment onwards, just like in any other Timber lane, you can just leave him for a bit. If you have a good gank potential. But the problem is, mid lane, can you actually carry key? 8 armor, very sustainable, most likely not. Maybe just stay bottom, make Timber's lane as good as possible.
Could he even try and go top? Like even then, like under Board's pretty tanky. You don't want to be taking away the experience by making it a tri lane up towards top.
You don't want to be rotating that far away from Timber as well.
Right.
When you go mid, it all makes sense. You're controlling the rune, then you're rotating mid. If everything fails, you're close enough to follow back on that bottom lane aggression. If you go top, you're just way too far.
Freeze over, but almost did. That was very, very close. They've got the homing missile. Do they have the damage to get the kill here onto Marvel?
He's
Under
a
the
tanky
tower, they're
boy.
a little bit scared of going in. Now, under the tower, Rocket Barrage. Oh,
They got it?
got the gyro, but they will lose this Underlord. It's a solo kill, or
And
well, solo
DJ?
experience for the IO.
He should actually be fine, but he does have 8 stick charges on Tiny Plus boots. This creep is in the way though. Because of the creep, he can't use the toss. Yeah, sometimes your own creeps sabotage you. If there was no creep, he would actually be fast enough with the boots to follow up. Toss was coming off cooldown.
While that was happening, Jack sacrificing himself. The Dire.
Yep. 22 CS on the Timber, 21 on the Raid King. So far mid lane as well. Pretty good for the Walker. 18 CS versus 13 of Ricky, even though he has 9 denies. The lane probably will change a bit for Sensitivity once he gets 2 raid bans. That's when it becomes much easier to last hit, to harass, trade hits within Walker. But I don't feel that Moon will ever really be pressured on that. For a quad specs in Walker, you're just going to region all that up, unless a big rotation happens from, let's say, Tiny.
Yeah, which would require him to
Abandon
Just-
top.
Yeah, and that could be a bit of a problem.
He's already doing it. If you look at the jungle, he's actually messing with their stacks. He managed to block one at least.
With those stacks, if you're not too careful, they'll come up, get 3 or 4 per camp, have yourself a good couple of stacks there for the gyro, get him a little bit of boost in farm. Right
Yep.
now, gyro leading the way in net worth, and that's followed Timbersaw.
Yeah, even though he did die once, remember that he got that first blood, so it doesn't really matter. As he started, he pretty much started the lane with a rare band instantly after.
Oh, good 2-man stun for Jabs.
And it's just to get out, will get him towards that Tranquils a bit faster and mid lane.
Avalanche comes in, this is what they wanted, but the toss only hits Sanctity. They're thinking about TPing in DJ.
Yeah, you're supposed to bring in a dust as well if you're getting in Walker Crosswax, right?
Sure, he can't ghost.
Yep. Sadly, they didn't have that, and they didn't tree.
And again, Hishki getting a block on one of the stack.
Yeah, the last time he blocked the medium camp, this time he blocks the hard, you know, a little bit here, a little bit of block there, it adds up.
Old feet by Carapace with the Wraith Fire Blast walking out of that freeze. So they continue to throw like mana at Snixus at, but they're not getting the kill.
You're not getting any here anymore. This is pretty much a done lane. He's coming back into it because there's like 3 creep waves up, but you might just die. You have to be extremely
freeze.
careful.
Jabs though, ooh, thinking about throwing out the stun. Now they've got
Tiny's here.
Hishki in.
But even with him, even with the Tiny, you don't threaten Timbersaw. He has a hood completed.
Yeah, Avalanche toss, right clicks coming through. Not a lot of mana to work with for the Timber.
Yeah, he's letting the tower hit him all the time, keeping those reactive armor stacks up. And you just rotated 3 heroes to watch Timber farm, literally. You're here applauding him. Wow, nice CS. Good job, man. Good job.
Standing ovation at the end of the farm.
Exactly, the 3 of them are lining up, trying to make sure Raid King gets at least something here. But I feel like it would be way more valuable for him to be in the jungle at the moment.
Yeah, because especially
More
if he
effective.
dies,
Yeah.
you're taking a big dagger. Now there's no tower, so you're kind of forced to be in the jungle.
And he goes into this small camp. Meanwhile, Jabs is there, he's trolling him. Mid lane, Hishki actually shows himself on the tower. He gets hit by the tower even.
Yeah, it goes a little bit too far out of the trees.
There was a bird scouting him out as well, so that was never going to work. Gyro in his own safety, farming the stacks, the IO, and this is why this combo is so good. You can take some damage from the camps. The IO will heal you up.
Avalanche didn't hit Raven.
I wasn't gonna kill him.
No.
Like, he was mostly trying to get a couple of plastics there. Marvel is rotating in though.
They vision there. Hishki, at least assuming.
Yeah, they're expecting it. They don't really have vision. They were just running in blind onto high ground. Top one still standing. I think that's maybe what they should have done instead of TPing the tiny bottom. Take out the tier 1 top so that you can invade the jungle. This way, you kinda invaded the jungle, you didn't do a lot, plus you don't have any objectives taken.
Ace forced to use two sentries to not even get an ops. It gets denied by
Top lane.
Avalanche toss and Pit of Malice with the Firestorm. Marvel will get the kill on a DJ.
That's a decent kill. Pressuring the gyro away from the lane most likely as well, so because of that, Marvel should be able to pressure the top or a little bit top lane, perhaps take it down. The problem is Fnatic is already one step ahead, and they can rotate and do whatever they want to pretty much on the... Do you want to defend top? Easy, we can defend top because no one is pressuring bottom, no one is pressuring mid.
Marco Heart. Okay. The gyro. He's got 5k net worth going Sanjay Yasha. He's got the Yasha being delivered, I believe. Like, that is... He's really...
No crit shenanigans, nothing like that. I think you give the Ocean Heart to Invoker probably. He's the one constantly in the river at the moment. He gets the most out of it, and so far this rookie on the mid lane, every time I click, he's out of mana, out of HP. They're just pressuring him hard. When I say they, I mean Moon and his 3 balls flying around his head, because he's the one doing it.
Giving him that extra HP region.
Ricky going into that corrosion, orb of corrosion that is. With that, he does start to carry a punch. So maybe you'll be able to make some kills on Raven, some rotations with AOT.
Avalanche. He was trying to get the deny on the tower. Jabs. No run. And he does get 6 from the tome that gets delivered.
Very cool. Toss in 1 second. Maybe he'll go back in, but if they have a sentry, he should understand it. Look at mid. This is what it is all about. Meanwhile, Moon already setting up on the bottom lane, but they don't have relocate, so this should be pretty difficult. However, they are connecting. Wraith King TP.
Yeah, he saw that he went into the ghost walk.
Because he was also TPing very obviously while they were pushing tier mid.
Just got so much farm going the way of Fnatic. And taking a lot of these tier 1s very early on.
And they're trying on the Timber again.
Avalanche full feet, looking for everything. Hill Timber Chain away.
Once you get AA to level 6, maybe that's when you do it. I actually didn't follow it completely through, but I believe Tiny took the tome. And that's a big issue. Like, I think you need your AA to hit 6 as soon as possible.
Yeah.
If you had AA 6 there, suddenly you can actually kill the Timber. It's possible, it's doable. They'll try again. He has no trees this time.
Yeah, he really wants to get out, but he can't. The problem is, yeah, he died, but that's costing you. You've gone twice. That's all space.
That's a nice smoke. Catch anyone? DJ, Raven.
Believe it. Got spotted.
He tried to hook in twice. And now Tiny as well just runs in. And while you're smoking and doing all this, instead of pressuring mid tier 1, Timber is respawning. So you most likely won't be able to take it. Do they have a glyph? I believe they do. They have a glyph as well. Like, these small things really matter a lot. You need to understand when you get a kill in a certain spot that you instantly need to converge on an objective.
And far forward, they've got the Ice Blast. He's dead.
Okay, Wraith King.
Yeah, if they could get Wraith King twice, that would feel pretty great for him. Incarnation, rotations coming over from the side of Lilgun. Not sure they're going to be in time. Jabs with some great body blocks. They get the kill on the x123. They do lose over mid, but that is a fine trade.
Yeah. The whole team of Lilgun was trying to actually connect and try and perhaps save the Raid King, but it's just another one of those instances in which you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
You could be using that time to either farm, get your items faster, as Tiny was doing, or perhaps pressure the tier 1 mid a little bit more. It's looking much better for Lilgun this time around, because their tier 2 is still standing, and it's almost the 14th minute mark, 13:30. That's 2 minutes longer than in the first game.
That could change very quickly, though. One team fight could change.
Well, yes and no, because Fnatic doesn't push nearly as fast as in that first game.
They don't have all that to go in with.
Beastmaster, Exotism, Enchantress, all these, Drow Ranger, all these heroes just pushed so well. Don't have that this time. What they do have is almost a vessel completed on Moon.
Wing Dagger, though, for the Tiny. Trying to take this 8 in stack.
Finger rotates in.
X123 is going to be in trouble again. Over, and they don't have a way to keep alive this Wraith King, in my opinion. And now they look over at Marvel. Blink Strike Moon, Deafening Blast. That comes out on Ricky. They get the kill on the Ricky while all this is going on. And well, down goes Moon, but it's traded for the Underlord. That was a 2-for-1 trade and the stacks.
Underlord, Wraith King stacks. You do have Blink on Tiny, but it looks like they won't try to contest this, as Ancient's ulti has been already expanded on that kill on Invoker.
Yeah.
But Ricky did show some power there. Like, he made the Moon bleed out instantly. So the hero is strong. I'm not sure how strong it is to justify it on the mid lane just yet. We'll see.
Moon's positioning in fight was...
He was trying to get to the secret shop to buy that vessel as well to finish it off. Then he tried to follow up on Underlord attack, so he just got himself in a bad position, not necessarily on his own volition, not exactly on his own
Blink
volition.
Avalanche, Ice Blast all coming in on the Nyx Assassin. And they're going to relocate. They want to try and get something from this, at least in return. TP or kill before.
They had nothing, no way of stopping that. Him also isn't going into rules. He's going to be truly stop the A. Tactic, scouting everything out.
Going Diffusal next.
I like that. What else do you do on position 2 Ricky? You could go for that meme build that I've seen Synderen and some other position 4s play. Meteor Hammer into Dart, but from the mid lane, you need to actually be able to right-click a bit too.
Got a sentry here. I believe he got spotted, but I don't know if that's even going to matter. They hit the Vendetta, they've got the stun, and now they're moving in to try and get the kill here on a Marvel. Cold Snap taking a lot of this damage. They've got the Spirit Vessel, Avalanche toss, Ice Blast comes in, hits on the land the Tornado, but they've got the Wraith Fire Blast from the right clicks because they have the sentries down. I think maybe they thought they didn't have the sentries due to the fact that the Nyx Assassin walked in and got that stun. They kill up the Ancient Apparition, and Underlord will survive the TP out.
He turns.
They take out DJ and they look towards the rest. Right on a Raven. Oh, the big stun coming in through here by the Nyx Assassin. Raven's still on the run.
No hits of Gyro. Nah, he
Chance. Sanctity, he's trying to run.
They have one more sentry, but no dusts. They let him go. Moon was a little bit too greedy that fight. He got clipped by Tiny plus AA ulti, and he moved out. He managed to use the stick before the AA hit.
Right.
But after moving out, he moved back in, and he literally went into melee range to a Wraith King who had a sentry on the ground. Moon didn't understand that there was a sentry. They kill him off. If Moon lives, that's a completely different fight, but...
Yeah, I don't think he expects this sentry that's up towards the top of the
because he also has one, I believe, in the river, or had it afterwards, but definitely didn't see that sentry or expected it.
Yeah, you see him run back in, Wraith Fire Blast, 2 right clicks, he ends up dead. The fact that Marvel stays alive in this fight too is kind of wild.
Yeah, because they distract everyone by the Invoker attack. Actually, very well played by Lilgun, and you can see some power of their draft. they can eliminate targets extremely fast. Tiny plus A, Ricky plus A, and then Underlord is just the one that follows everything up with some bit of Malice and Firestorm.
So now they're to the tier 2 tower over bottom. And now it's not a lot of mana here for your Timber.
Sanctity was also out of mana. They caught
Ice Blast in, hits 2 tabs, and well, one strike, they'll get the kill. Hit the homing missile, Tornado comes through, lands on the 2, 80 taking a lot of damage, we get the kill into the ancient apparition, they look over Hishki, right click seen, tossed up into the air, Raven still trying to chase, the tether is gone, they've got the avalanche, Hishki's can walk away.
Yeah, that was also a very nice smoke screen from the Ricky. Sanctity pretty much saved the Tiny together with Avalanche. He used the smoke screen on a choke point on 3 heroes and allowed the Tiny to live. You shouldn't bail on your supports. Moral of the story, help each other out.
Or just believe them and tell him to buy more wards.
And flame him as well and tell him that you're gonna report him afterwards. That also works, obviously.
Always. It's the words that have always worked.
It's a classic.
Gibby finished here for Raven.
He's getting pretty much fight ready.
Right.
He has the BKB, SNY, pretty tanky. Didn't go into anything too greedy like an Aghanims early on. Just wants to be able to fight constantly.
4 staff now for the Nyx. See if he goes Axe next.
Yeah, that 4 staff is... He actually has a recipe queued up as well. 4 staff plus a recipe for 4 staff queued up, so the double staff.
4 staff, level 2.
Yeah. They should make that longer range.
Longer range, short gun, Ice Blast coming in, BKB's been popped. Relocate out. Courier, that's dead. And still.
I remember the times when you couldn't actually relocate the target out with BKB, but we might see a fight here.
Yeah, they want to come over, they've got the spike cap. Look at the damage on the Wraith King! Whoa, he's just gone so fast. We're gonna look over, Avalanche lands super chain across. And he's trying to get the kill here on the DJ. Does he get out of this one? They have the deafening blast, and he does, because Sanctity is dead.
Yeah, that was just perfect execution by Fnatic. As Wraith King dies from the EMP.
Yeah.
He has 20 Magic Wand charges, but is unable to use them to get that mana back to actually use his ulti. Meanwhile, Ricky almost hits and kills off the IO, but DJ lives on a sliver of his HP and teammates are fast enough to control the Ricky and get that kill before he managed to kill the IO off. Really well played by Fnatic. Plus the peace of mind that they had, okay, they just wasted a lot of spells, we wasted the BKB, but we can still fight. And they actually go in and win a team fight.
With that fight win, we'll see what they do from here. You know, they want to grab the outpost, they've already done so. Going Shard next on the Rookie, no surprise. With Sleeping Dart, you've got the Vendetta used, and everything smoke popped for an ancient apparition.
Yeah, we'll see how much of a change this Sleeping Dart
Wraith King might get caught. You saw that courier.
Still
The question is, can they see him?
Still has ulti and he's safe. He has a quelling.
He had ulti last time.
He had ulti, yeah, that's true. He's actually queuing up a BKB very, very early on. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Maybe a shard at the moment and then just buying a Sange would be better. Then you kind of get the best of both worlds. You don't need mana for the ulti, plus you get some stats resistance, plus you hit harder. Right. But, alright, he wants to save the safe route.
Marvel in trouble, Ice Blast going into the pit.
And this is big too. Now, no, they don't have a ulti. You can actually freely go back into the pit. Yeah, I think in a situation such as this one, if you don't want to fight, then you just let the use the ulti, maybe snipe Rosh, and everyone farms meanwhile. Right. Don't just stand around the pit while a ulti is flying in and then kind of think about going in or out.
Anything from it?
Exactly, you're not getting anything from them. You're banking on an off chance that a ulti will catch someone very low, and then you jump in with Tiny, eliminate one target, make some trades, but it's... the risk assessment just isn't there.
12-12, 4K lead for the back. They've got the dump, the Sanctity, Sunstrike coming in with the Chakram, Timber Chain, and the Whirling Death. Sanctity blowing up, HP going in, trying to get a kill. They have the AA Ice Weapons, you finish off Jabs, but it's going to cost them 3. Not too sure that's worth it. Ace, he finally falls. Poor staff used to make sure he didn't freeze over.
Yeah, and they go top, continue pushing. 23 minutes and tier 1 is still standing. That's just not acceptable for the games that we've put together. No tier 1 should stand after a 13 minutes mark.
True.
Racing on the mid lane. He does have the wand. He actually used them already. That will keep him alive though.
Go Chick 2 tower, see if they can take this Firestorm.
A ulti once again.
Went through the middle, but
Tiny is actually sneaking in through the trees, but was just a tiny little bit too slow. Couldn't catch the invoker.
this is a nice lead for Fnatic. Like, Lilgun, what do they have to do to bring this back?
I don't know. I actually have no idea. Maybe some magic by Ricky plus Tiny, and that's how it feels like at least. Like these 3 heroes need to get some sick pickoffs like this one maybe.
Stun on 2 Jabs. He's taking the attention of everyone.
And this is a 5-man rotation to kill off an Nyx assassin. It's not worth it. At least you get something. And is that a BKB? I believe it is. Okay, so Wraith King has a BKB. However, your high ground is
Yeah.
so I don't think that's the best read off.
Tier 2 mid.
The tier 2 mid. Tier 2 bottom is already gone. Actually, Butterfly completed on Gyro. 25 minutes in. The ulti.
Around the back. It lands. Avalanche toss. Not sure it's going to be enough for the BKB. Pops. They're trying to back off. Oh, God. 1, 2, 3. Once again. To lose his first life. They've got the stun on the Hitch via the Spike Carapace. They're still trying to get the kill here onto this Timber, who is alive for a little longer, but finally falls. Toss on a Raven. He's got the Rocket Barrage out as well as the Black. He gets the kill on the Ace, and now they're looking over at Moon. They'll get the kill on the Invoker. The right click from this Wraith King starting to hurt. Have the Aegis to work with. They've got the Tether. They'll get the kill on the Carapace. Now they look over at this Wraith King again, but he gets tossed away. Have the stun.
Oh, Impale. Okay, uncharacteristic for Jabs to miss a spell, but it happens to the best. Really good carapace from him. He caught not only the Underlord, but the Wraith King as well. Sadly for Fnatic, that is, Wraith King was fine enough. Nice try to toss back by Hishki. Okay, Lilgun showing some teeth. I actually thought it was a mistake go on the Timber. If you have such a good setup, maybe you could just blow up Invoker first, or maybe even one of the supports.
Right.
But they made Timber pop that BKB very early on, and then they managed to kill him afterwards.
Missing this Ricky, who just points off the Wraith King, but again, Jabs a little bit too far for him. That's a toss, that's a kill.
Nice smoke, preventing him from carapacing. So, one issue that's probably very apparent to you as well is this Radiance on Raven right now, right? It's pretty much making Fnatic's game easier, because Nyx Assassin with the Carapace just found another valuable target to easily control. You can even see it in fights. He's turning off the Radiance. If you're turning off the Radiance, what's the point? It's your buy it.
Yeah, you want to spend all that gold to use it.
I mean, it's a nice item. It also buffs your farming speed. Yeah, sure, but it just feels versus Nyx Assassin. It really feels off.
To be just a farming.
Nice for Helene for this farm. Probably can give it to Julian. He's going to be that little bit much here. 10% magic resistance versus the AA. Very nice.
He's got the sweeping dart.
Okay, let's see.
We've got Sentry in now, Sanctity moving in. They've also got Hitchki with the Avalanche as well as the toss on a jab. The BKB being popped here by 1, 2, 3. Flying They got the kill on the Hishki. They look over the Underlord. Got the stun onto a couple as they'll chase this Underlord, looking to dark away. Sunstrike not gonna land, and they don't have the damage.
He's fine. However, he missed the Uber back home. He was coming from behind. And I love really how Ancient Apparition always has these ultis from like some positions that you just don't expect.
Yeah.
And he's always good with wards. Like, look, even when they're losing, they always have good vision on the map because he moves across the map, does his own thing. He's really good with that. Plus, when he's on the dire side of the map, those A ultis are just unexpected. They're coming from some weird angles.
You don't see him till the last second.
You can't dodge, yeah.
The outpost. Ooh, Moon should know he just walked in. That Ricky. Do anything about it though.
I'm just waiting for the sleeping dart. Come on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fall asleep, waiting for the sleeping dart.
Throw the dart out onto you.
He darted me indeed.
They're Fnatic, while they're pressuring, they kind of look nervous about moving forward any further.
No, they're just taking their time. They don't truly have to force anything. When you're controlling the map the way they are doing, and when you know that the enemy team isn't farming anything but maybe one side, one lane,
Right.
you're completely fine with that. You're taking 2/3 of the map, and then you can put...
You're just extending your lead.
That should be Satanic completed as well. Well, not yet, but it's flying over to Raven. Questionable a little bit versus AA, right? As you won't be able to heal up, but after that ulti or after you pop the BKB and that ulti has passed, be able to get your HP back up.
Courier is going over to the secret shop. See if they want to take care of that in any way. iCloud's coming in, but that's not going to land. They look over now at this Wraith King once again. Tossed away, but it's on a jab. So get the kill on the ace. The look over is now Wraith King's lost his first life. BKB is popped, focusing the attention on DJ with a Fire Blast as well as the crit. They'll get the kill on the DJ. Sanctity as well as one running.
On him. They do have vision on Marvel, but he should be fine too. Gets up to the ult. So they bought back, but only AA. And Wraith King lost his ulti, but that's it. I think you're fine if you're Lilgun for that. You got the Wisp at least, so you're not super happy with your position 5 bot back, but
It's not the worst thing in the world.
it could be way worse because of the way they started that team fight. It was horrendous.
Right.
They tried to go the IO with the sleeping dart, but they forced him out of smoke, plus the Frost Blast missed. So there was a high chance for Fnatic to just obliterate them.
Plus landing in an odd position. Fight.
Because it's difficult to catch IO if he's not controlled. Not only do they have 4 staff on Nyx, he also has Tether to move away. Bottom lane,
To the Ice Blast.
the dust.
And he's dead. Moon is in trouble. He's not really penalized.
Yeah, but that's such a decent and easy setup. Like, that's so good. The sleeping dart on Ricky plus A on your team, it's pretty much a guaranteed kill on Invoker. He needs something to either get rid of the dust or get rid of the A sleeping dart or whatever. Some A on disc, some BKB, something similar might be helpful. He actually has the BKB queued up.
Over towards Roche. It is Fnatic for a second. Their posture near the pit, that's going to be up in just a couple of moments.
Yeah, Raven is just bigger and bigger. That got queued up. He's sitting on 3k gold with the Satanic, with the Butterfly.
That's shard that's going to be dropped, so we'll see.
I'm not sure. There's a good chance that Lilgun can take this next fight if he sets it up with the Sleeping Dart. I feel like Fnatic, what they need to do is buy another 4-stab. If you can double 4-stab someone out of the smoke cloud, most likely you'll force him out of the AA ulti as well.
Right.
Because they will always try the same setup, right? Sleeping Dart into AA ulti.
He pulls Gold snap doing her to let the Vendetta and the stun. They've got a bit of balance. Sunstrike comes down, but it's not going to land. Chain all the way over there looking for the Dark Rift out on the Underlord. Also get the Wraith King out of there. That sends them back with Roche just spawning.
Now this should be the moment in which they scout it out. Chuyan, yeah, going straight into the pit.
Does he take shard? Don't or Phil? Still.
I think you can give it to him. Yeah. Who else would you give it to?
Maybe Raven even?
Raven? When position 5 Gyro was popular, actually you would always buy that shard on him later on in the game because it's really good. When position 5 forward. Well, he has it right now, but let's see if he actually uses it.
He gave it to the Tim. So.
Yeah, it's much better. This flamethrower is, when it was added by Ace, when it was added, I thought it's just a meme, but it's actually pretty solid.
It was really strong. I think our first real view of it was during the Season 1 Southeast Asia.
Exactly.
And
Masara site, I believe, is building the shard.
And it felt like it was
Gyro.
just stuck.
Raven. He's far away from all of his team.
Now he's deeper into the base.
But he doesn't care because there's no AA. As long as there's no Frost Blast, he cannot die.
You're 3 on high ground. Scotty finished for the Gyro. Manto finished for the Ricky.
And we talked about that one fight when Ancient bought back.
High Carapace, they might catch a tiny hit, be in trouble. Hishki very dead. Got the sight on top of the Gyro as well as the sleep.
You can't deal with him, just move to sleep and move away.
And to go on to this Timber, he's really soaking up a lot of this damage. He's become the sponge.
They do have a buyback on Tiny, and Ancient Apparition is now back. So
oh, that lands on 3. That's significant because both Moon and Sean go down. They get the kill to the Ancient Apparition afterwards. They buy back on the Wraith King. That was a great Ice Blast. Now he's dead for another 43 seconds. Spike Carapace. All right, Rocket Barrage. Raven trying to survive. The stun is there. They'll get the kill to Hishki once more. He's dead for 90 seconds. DJ ready to save if he can, but Sanctity, I feel like he's gonna sleep in darkness IO. And there's the tether. The Cheese trying to survive, and he'll continue throwing out those shots. They'll get the first life out of the hands of 123 once again. Sanctity moves forward and will kill off Chaps. The Rocket Barrage constantly on 123. Red Fire Blast trying to run away.
Another
Super
dart
is there. Oh, wake up.
The Raven is just such a boss here.
He's really trying to survive. He's got Satanic again. Oh, Fire Blast, Ice Blast, and they don't even need it. He's dead for 94.
The TP's out. They didn't have any buybacks on Timber or on the Invoker, who both got clipped by that initial Ice Blast, like you said. That pretty much, that's the only thing that kept Lilgun in this game.
The game for them.
Yeah, it saved the game. They didn't even lose the side. And it's a big deal because they also get the gem. Ricky, Wraith King did buyback, which is not that great, but they did manage to kill Gyro in the end, so it's definitely worth it. Plus,
They
if
fought back on both supports.
yeah, and if they didn't buy back, they'd lose the side 100%.
Right.
What a crazy execution. The moment Ace not buybacks, the moment he respawns, they get these 2 major kills.
Yeah, the Ice Blast doing a lot. It's only level 2.
It doesn't matter really, as long as they can't heal, as long as there's that break threshold. What's it? Shatter threshold?
Yeah, the 10%. Or not the 10%.
Suddenly it's so much easier to kill Timber and the Quaswex Invoker, who's no longer Quaswex. He's got a little bit of everything.
Or most of me.
He's mostly the electricity machine at the moment. Move behind the Gyro, make him hit faster.
We'll let you hit faster. You can do this. You got it.
Still, Jabs is doing just so damn much in these fights. This Nyx Assassin in the first This game now in second as well, you can really see him doing work. Hishki is still around.
He's got TP available though.
What they're trying to do here is, if Invoker stays alone, maybe for one extra wave, Ancient Apparition sends Frostblast and he's dead. They can 1-2 him pretty much.
Or even a sleeping dart.
Definitely
nice
even a
spot.
sleeping dart, yeah. But this gem that they got from DJ is just so valuable. Suddenly Sanctity, he's not afraid to be on the map. And he can follow Invoker through Ghost Walk everywhere.
Yeah.
It's such a big item. Especially if it's something else. You didn't have to buy it, you stole it. Feels good.
Didn't have to make that purchase. Raven now level 25. He's got 3 homing missile charges.
What is the highest net worth you've ever reached on a hero?
35?
35k.
I want to say my highest with the Ancient Apparition is 28.
Man, I'm not talking about supports.
I know. Just saying.
Wait, how much?
Like 28,000.
That's still a lot.
Like an 8. It was like an hour and a half game or something like
I
that.
see. I mean, it's still a lot for a support ancient where you support.
Yeah.
That's still a lot.
But you hit 25. The game's at a stalemate even when you're getting kills. Gold's going up. Ricky going Crystallis BKB.
Yeah, maybe even just BK early on would be a little bit safer. The crit is definitely nice, buffs up your damage a little bit. He's getting closer and closer to level 25. They're all pretty much in the same spot. They need one extra item and they can actually take a solid team fight. But it all comes down to execution. It literally does not matter. Just the Ancient Apparition with the Frost Blast. That's all you need.
Moon's just sitting in the pit. I'm not sure.
Waiting for Rosh?
Yeah, and it's not up for another minute 40.
At least.
Yeah. They might go through top here. They're all starting to go
Bottom
to
lane.
TP bottom now. Spike Carapace. This stun. And this is a lot of damage coming from Raven. They relocated over. They get the kill to Hitchkey. Trying to get Sanctity. Uh-oh. He is in a lot of trouble.
That's a gem reclaimed as well, and that's a huge mistake. He actually used, he used the blink and the smoke screen without using the dart. So invoke that BKB instantly, and then they follow up so easily on the Tiny without Invoker just dying afterwards.
Yeah.
So he was a little bit greedy because he knew that Invoker will be focused on the Tiny.
Now they're going on to the top tier 3. Bring up Vermoon. Jabs makes the rotation too. 3v5 fight, and the Urax are going down very quickly. He's been popped here by Raven and got the stun, and man, Marvel just gets obliterated.
Yeah, he does have a bite. Ricky might have to use it too though, because they will lose one side at least. x123 is not enough to defend this. You need to buy. He'll probably buy back the same second Tiny is up.
Might have to do it clear. They're going in, and oh, look at that.
Oh, now
Great
it's
King's
too
gone
late.
with no buyback.
Yep. This is a moment in which you as Fnatic can definitely just end this game. Or as Laporte says,
When it's time to call it, it's time to call it.
that's it.
Yeah, they're going to take a mid-center X. I think that's just that little interaction right there too is a bit of a learning experience for Lilgun, because Ricky holding that buyback a little bit too long when Wreath King's frontlining and has lost that first life.
Yeah, maybe they weren't communicating that well because Ricky is probably doing the right thing. He's waiting for the Tiny to respawn, but the problem was you're losing Raxes already, so you can't really be that conservative.
I'm sure that's going to do enough. They've got the end. This popped on Moon. 2-man stun comes out from the Mixed Assassin. They get Sanctity. They get Hitchkey. They're going to run down Marvel. 4 heroes making a full team wipe. Fnatic are going to get the 2-0 here and clean up Lilgun. Looked pretty easy throughout the series.
I believe this is also the longest game that I have
You got to
casted.
see tier 4s.
In yeah, I actually got to see tier 4. Well, they're still standing. They didn't kill them.
Yeah.